Today's McGonagall poem is, as of yesterday, another shipwreck. This one a bit more serious, though. It's called The Collision in the English Channel. It was on a Sunday morning, and in the year of 1888, the steamer Saxmundham, laden with coal and coke for freight, was run into amidships by the Norwegian barque Nor, and sunk in the English Channel while the storm fiend did roar. She left Newcastle on Friday, in November, about 2 o'clock, and proceeded well on her way until she received a shock. And the effects of the collision were so serious within, that within 20 minutes afterwards, the water she was full to the brim. The effects of the collision were so serious the water couldn't be staunched, so immediately the Saxmundham's jolly boat was launched, while the brave crew were busy and loudly did clatter, because at this time the stem of the steamer was under water. Then the bold crew launched the lifeboat without dismay, while their hearts did throb, but not a word did they say. They tried to launch the port lifeboat, but in that they failed, owing to the heavy seas, so their sad fate they bewailed. Then into the jolly boat and lifeboat jumped 15 men in all, and immediately the steamer foundered, which did their hearts appall, as the good ship sank beneath the briny wave. But they thanked God fervently that he did them save. Oh, it was a miracle how many of them were saved, but it was by the aid of God and how the crew behaved, because God helps those that help themselves, and those that don't do so are silly elves. So the two boats cruised about for some time before it was decided to pull for St. Catherine, and while cruising about they must have been ill, but they succeeded in picking up an engineer and fireman, also Captain Milne. And at daybreak on Sunday morning the men in the lifeboat were picked up by the schooner Waterbird, as towards her they did float, and landed at Weymouth and made all right by the authorities, who felt for them in their sad plight. But regarding the barque Nor, to her I must return, and no doubt for the drowned men many will mourn, because the crew's suffering must have been great, which certainly is sole heroine to relate. The ill-fated barque was abandoned in a sinking state, but all her crew were saved, which I'm happy to relate. They were rescued by the steamer Hagbrook in the afternoon, when after taken to their boats and brought to Portland very soon. The barque Nor was bound from New York to Stettin, and when she struck the Saxmundham, oh, what terrible din! Because the merciless water did rush in, then the ship's carpenters to patch the breach did begin. But alas, all their efforts proved in vain, for still the water did on them gain. Still they resolved to save her whatever did betide, but alas, the ill-fated Nor sank beneath the tide. But thanks be to God, the major part of the men had been saved, and all honour to both crews that so manfully behaved, and may God protect the mariner by night and by day, when on the briny deep, far, far away. I think we may be done with shipwrecks for a little while. But then again, maybe not. I haven't actually looked what's next in here. We'll be back tomorrow with more McGonagall. Or maybe with something else, but probably more McGonagall. We'll just see what happens. We'll see you then.